dead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets. Mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors, armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language. These beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Hey, how's it going?
I love seeing you, Poch, just as the screen comes up.
I know, I forgot to put the thing on. I'm panicking.
I don't control anything, so I'm sitting here all cool, innit? Hand on my chin, Mr.
Yeah.
Cool, and you're like...
I know, people don't see that I'm spinning plates back here. Because you can't see my hands. And the
Jenks, don't oversell your job, mate. It's not that hard.
How's things, all right?
Yeah, not bad. A big day today, big announcement. So my daughter, who's 9, we finished Stranger Things yesterday.
Yeah.
And she turned to me and she said, I think I'm ready for Evil Dead 2. So we watched it today in the day, so it wasn't too scary. And do you know what? She absolutely loved it, but I was disappointed that she had no fear whatsoever. I thought, at least be a little bit scared.
Yeah, especially when a severed head falls in his lap. That's quite scary.
Yeah, nothing. She's seen Army of Darkness loads of times, so she understands Ash's humour.
Yeah.
So she hasn't gone in blind.
Okay.
But she's online now looking at Evil Dead t-shirts.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, funnily enough, you should say that, right? Last night we had a sleepover with my wife and kids and stuff. We went over to another couple's house. Not one of those sleepovers. And with the keys in the pot. So my daughter struggled to sleep in a stranger's house. And so I was lying with her in bed and we were chatting. And I was talking about horror films. And I said, do you want me to talk about how Jason comes back in every single Friday the 13th film? And it's like, she's 9. She didn't really know who he is. I tried to describe he's like a zombie. So I said it one by one. And, it was so sweet hearing like an outsider question the logic.
Yeah.
She goes so he's got a sack on his head. How can he see through? I said, well, he's got 2 holes. But if the sack moved, he's buggered.
One hole.
One hole.
Extra worse. One hole.
All right, okay. And then I went through and then I said, and then he died. And she said, why did you dig him up, bro? He's dead. Yeah, dead, but he wanted to make sure he's dead. And then he stabs him and electric, and then he gets buffing. She's like, but you said he was a skeleton. And then I swear to God, and then when I got to the telekinesis one, then I was losing. I'm like, what? And then the space one, she goes, he's in space. It's all like...
Jenks, it sounds like you need to educate your kids.
But it was so funny. And I thought, this would be a really good idea for a podcast. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to do this every week, but having a young, innocent kid's point of view to see how ridiculous some of these franchises are. Even though they're beloved, you're like, yeah, I know it's shit. But she was like the logic of like, how can she move things with her mind? Oh, she can.
It is though, isn't it? We just accept that they're shit, but we love them anyway.
Yeah. The bit that she struggled to comprehend when I said, I don't know the name of the character, that's telekinetic girl, but her father comes back from the dead at the end to save her. And she said, but he was horrible, you said. I know, he's good now.
Yeah, that's it. He's good now.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, I was laughing. I was thinking here, I thought, yeah, if this could be a segment, this should be gold, wouldn't it? I don't think anyone's ever even done this of this sort of child's eyes.
I'll play your daughter.
Oh, that's to stay with the moustache.
With the moustache.
Oh, shave it off at least. Yeah, but I've been watching Black Mirror. I'm a little bit behind. I've seen 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So obviously, I know you've seen them all. Don't
No.
spoilers.
I've got the SS Callister sequel left, one
Right.
episode.
So we're not going to give any spoilers, obviously, because it's pretty new. But I've seen the first 3. I would say the first episode is excellent, very
Yeah.
horrifying, not a nice one at all.
No.
I thought the second one was really good, a little bit far-fetched towards the end, but I did enjoy it. The third one was well made. I think it was trying to be the San Junipero one,
Yeah.
but not quite as powerful. If you know, do you get what I mean? Without spoilers.
No, I get what you mean, yeah. I've thoroughly enjoyed this season. It's much more, I think, much more Black Mirror than the last season. A lot more compact. But I've seen, 5, 6 episodes. I've seen 5, and all of them are 4-star episodes. None of them are quite 5 stars. To be honest, the only reason I would say they're not 5 stars and up there with the best of the best is just because I haven't found this season to have rewatch value. So all the episodes seem like one-time watches. A lot of them don't have that thing drawing me back into watch. Like Loch Henry, I've watched that episode about 10 times. There's so many episodes that they've done that you can just go back and watch on repeat. None of these episodes have seemed like I could go back and rewatch them. But great to witness for the first time, you know? Yeah,
the first episode was brilliant. I think it's so depressed. It's not depressing in a bad way. It's a brilliant episode, but it's not. It hasn't got rewatch value because it's really grim. But I loved the second one. I really did, and I would give it 4 stars. It just went a little bit too sci-fi towards the end, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
Like a bit of like in all the Black Mirror, all Charlie Brooker stories, the technology is always within our grasp. It's around the corner. The tech in the second one is like, whoa, no, come on.
Whoa.
This is like sci-fi bullshit technology. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right, let's say hello to a few people then. We've got Jill. Hi, Curtis and Jenks. Hope you had a great weekend. Hiya, Jill. Thanks for jumping on. We've got Wendy Palfrey. Hi, Curtis and Jenks. Hi, Wendy. We've got Ben Davis.
Ben Step.
All right, Ben. We've got Ella.
How's it going? Happy Sunday, Ella.
We've got John Moran. How's your holiday going, pal? Are you home yet?
Hi, Jordan.
We've got Gina in the chat. Don't forget to send that like button. Some love, people. Thank you so much, Gina.
Thank you, support.
You're awesome. We've got the man, Sam Jones.
Hi, Sam.
Can I just say as well, right? Next Wednesday, I get to see Havoc 9 days early. So I'll be going to the premiere in Cardiff. It's a 5-hour event, right? They haven't said on the event card that Gareth Evans or Tom Hardy or anyone's going to be there if it's going to be anything special. Yeah. But it's a 5-hour event and it's got a strict dress code, so you have to dress smart. If you're not dressed smart, you'll get turned away.
How smart are you talking?
Jeans, shirt, that sort of stuff.
It says you can wear jeans, but you've got to look...
Yeah, but you've got to be smart. So there's got to be some sort of press there. I think they've got to have some of the actors there, I think. But it's all thanks to this guy, Sam. Thank you so much, pal. Sam managed to bag me a ticket for that one,
and
so
you're
I appreciate
plus
that,
one,
pal.
is it?
I am Sam's plus one.
That's sweet.
So,
and just
Sam,
so you know,
you're
Sam
an absolute
is
legend, pal.
Sam is a boy, okay? So it could be Samantha.
There's no girl out there, right, with a Van Damme profile photo from Hard Target.
Oh, is that what he's got? I can't quite make out. Do you know, I can't see why the premiere in Cardiff wouldn't have a Welsh director there.
Exactly, because I've booked another Q&A then on the 28th talking about Havoc, but it'll be released by then. So Gareth Evans is doing a Q&A on the 28th then. So I'll meet him then, but I am hoping he's at the premiere.
I think Tom Hardy be there. He's a Brit, you know, it's only Cardiff.
Yeah. I don't see why not. But I'll be getting my review out an hour early, so I'll be doing my first solo review.
Well done.
If I can get that out 9 days early, which I will, we should be able to get some good eyes on that one. Yeah,
is it not like an embargo or anything like that? Does it not affect?
Well, I don't think so. It doesn't say you have to sign a disclaimer on it.
Yeah.
But these screenings, they're going to want people to talk about the film, innit?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a shame I can't wear a Twisted Locker t-shirt. It's not smart enough, is it?
Can you imagine this dog shit and you're like that, and you think you're doing your first review to go, it's shit.
Angry and aggressive.
Yeah.
We've got Don Keith, hello, Kurtz
Don.
and Jenks. Hope you had a lovely weekend so far. Hiya, Don. And on time as well. Look at that.
Awesome.
Buff skeleton. He's got a way with words. Right. We've got Hugh Huckridge, even you filthy animals.
How's it going, Hugh?
Drop the S. There's only one filthy animal here, and that's
Yes.
Jenks.
I'll take that.
Ella says, I'm loving the new Black Mirror. The first one is terrifying.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
It's an event, innit? Do you know when Black Mirror drop new episodes? Oh,
Yeah. It's the
What an
best
event.
anthology show ever, and I'm including that with Twilight Zone. The consistency of this is like, it's another level, isn't it?
amazing. John says, back on Wednesday, Bruges is off the menu due to daily strikes in Belgium, but enjoying living a life of leisure. Awesome. There's a shame you can't get to Bruges, though.
I've been to Bruges. It's not like the film. It's packed with people. It's all like sleepy when you watch the film. And the tower is quite tall, but it's not as... I don't know, the perception is it's a tiny little sleepy tower with a really tall tower. It's just a little church. But it is really good.
I got off a cruise close to Bruges, and there was an excursion into Bruges, but I was like, I can't be asked. Just walk around the town.
It was lovely. It was no nicer though than like Belgium. It had the same kind of you know, style.
Ben says, Sam, you legend. Curtis ain't stop talking about this Hardback event.
Yeah.
He is a bloody legend. I am, as you know, Jenks, a massive Gareth Evans fan. This is
and rightly so. He's really good. I've liked I liked
awesome.
The Raid, and I've seen The Apostle. I haven't seen anything else, but he hasn't done a
he
hell of a
hasn't
lot
done
of
much
films.
more than that. No, you've literally just missed The Raid 2 and Maranta, which was his first movie.
Yeah.
And then obviously he did Safe Haven in VHS
Yeah, I've seen
2.
that. That was excellent. Yeah. That was the best VHS film, definitely, I think.
Nothing's come close to it. Yeah.
No.
And I'm not just saying that because I actually thought that before I knew Gareth Evans made it. So
yeah, it's a shame that film VHS 2 didn't attract more and more brilliant writers, brilliant directors.
Because they followed it up with Viral.
Yeah, I think that was the problem. It's kind of getting, back on track. But you think that could have been a Black Mirror level of like, everybody wants to jump onto a VHS, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We've got Jamie Hart. Hi, Jamie. I hope you're doing well. John says, were you guys fans of the Terror anthology series?
I started watching. Are you talking about the first series? Is The Boat, isn't it?
The second season is set in Asia, I believe. I think it's like... I haven't watched any of it, so I didn't know it was an anthology series until the second season came out.
Yeah, because the first one's... The Boat is called The Terror.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think they could make a sequel, but they'll make a sequel to anything.
Well, it's an anthology series, isn't it? It's going to be like different stories every season.
Yeah, but...
It's like
it was
American...
Yeah, I know that, but it was called The Terror because of the boat, isn't it? So...
Yeah, but they can incorporate that in anything, innit?
Yeah,
like inside number 9. Well, the house was number 9, so they can't do another one.
Yeah, I did like it. I just didn't finish it for some reason. I think I had like No TV or whatever it was on. I cancelled it and never got back to it.
I am going to watch that at some point, though.
Right, are we ready to get cracking?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, what we're doing today, where's that gone now, is we are doing a drop... review. Non-spoiler, obviously, because it's just come out.
Thanks for dropping that at the bottom, Jenks, for the people who can't understand our accent.
What? What are you talking about?
You put the drop down by there. The title.
Yeah.
The title card. I said, thanks for putting it up for the people who can't understand our accent.
All right, yeah. Well, people might come in late and think, what the fuck are they reviewing? But, yes, we watched it. I watched it. Well, you watched it Friday as well. We both watched it Friday.
Yes, I did.
When I first saw the trailer for this, I thought it looked really generic. I remember texting you saying, this looks so generic, a fucking phone beeping, we're going to kill your kids unless you do such and such. And you said it had good reviews, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a go. I thought it was excellent. I really enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised. it had a really good plot line. So you had a very much like, as you can see from the cover, it's very Hitchcock. And definitely that covers go for Hitchcock vibe, where you got like a whodunit, one location, and would you want to give the gist of the plot?
Yeah, so it like you said, Jenks, it's a single location movie. It's a whodunit. We've seen it many times before. It's a premise that's been done to death, and that's why I wasn't looking forward to this movie, to be honest. After seeing the first trailer, it's just one of those things that's been done so many times. You've got phone booth. I'm not going to start reeling out all the. But basically, she's gone through a hard time, so she's separated from a very nasty relationship, and she's been out of the dating game for a long time. And she's been speaking to this guy, played by Brandon Sklenar, for a while. And she decides to meet up with him, and they meet up in this restaurant in a high-rise. What would you call it, Jenks? It's on the
just like a really high-up restaurant with an amazing view. Glass all around.
They're sitting there, and what's great about it is the setup is that she's already dreading this date because she's been out the game a long time. She doesn't trust men anymore, so she's already nervous. She's been palming this guy off for months, but he's stuck around and he's kept on. So she's finally agreed to meet him, and she does a fantastic job as well. All the emotion she goes through in this movie.
Meghann Fahy.
And basically, they sit down at their table and she starts getting airdrops of these pictures, sort of like memes. But then they start naming her in the memes and she starts getting more and more paranoid. And then, again, this is in the trailer, she gets a message then, an airdrop message saying, do this or your kid dies, check your house cameras. She checks the camera, there's people in her house, and that's all we need to say about the plot. The rest of it is stuff you'll obviously find out as the film goes on.
Yeah.
But I was so surprised with this one, and these films are the ones that always end up being the best, are the ones you're least looking forward to. Going to cinema to see this on Friday was a little bit of a chore. We didn't have anything to review, so we thought, Drop isn't quite horror, but we can do thriller.
It's a Blumhouse.
So I thought, let's do it. Go to cinema, watch it, and it was a little bit of a chore, and these are the ones that end up being the best because you're always surprised. If your expectations are low, you're always surprised. I had a great time with this one, Jenks. I think both leads were fantastic. The only downside of this movie is that waiter. Oh my God.
So what I loved about it had, so when she walks into the restaurant, obviously because you know the plot, you know that somebody in this restaurant, because only people of a close range can send these drops to a phone.
50 metres in there.
I don't know what a fucking drop is. It's a thing for youngsters. I don't know what it means. It's a real thing. But anyway, so you know that everyone's a suspect. So everyone she's coming in contact with, interacting with, you know that, okay, they're setting up like that they might be a suspect. She bumps into
They're a little bit suspicious.
She's a little bit too chatty with the barmaid. There's a guy on a first date, and these are, and it reminded me a little bit of Final Destination, where you don't know where it's coming from, and there's a loose boat. Oh, is it that? Is it that? Obviously, Final Destination's a play on like Hitchcock and stuff, but that's what it reminded me of. And even the boyfriend is Henry, his name, wasn't it? Yeah. And he's really good looking, he's really charming, but he's really well cast because he looks like he's got an edge to him as well. He's not just a pretty boy. So if you put a layer of, even though you know he's not texting her, you still don't trust him because he's got that look. He's really well cast. I thought
he's got something in his eyes, isn't he?
Yeah. I liked her because she was very vulnerable. She was very beautiful, but she was likable, and she was vulnerable because she got a kid at home and all this. She reminded me a lot of a young Michelle Pfeiffer. Do you get those vibes?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah.
But really well cast, and she got a little boy at home called Toby, and he's quite cute, and he's quite generic, little boy with glasses, you know.
But, little boy with glasses.
Yeah, I don't even know if he had glasses. Put him on, boy. He look cute.
As if there isn't kids in the real world who are just little and have glasses. Like, generic crap.
Well, he didn't look cute enough. God, get his glasses on him.
Yeah.
But, I like.
He can't see shit on set. Like.
So you've got the waiter, like you said. He's like a very feminine.
It's his first day on the job.
Yeah, overly chatty. You think, is he doing it? Then you see, there's a particular guy who's texting a lot, and he's he's coming on to, he bumped into her and they dropped phones. And you're thinking, is this where they did a trade and all this? And you just don't know where to turn. And what I loved about it was that it really was a one location. They didn't leave the restaurant for pretty much the 90% of the movie. And I love stuff like that. And I was hooked all the way through in spite of that. Yeah.
Oh, 100% agree with you. Now, I've said this too many times. I love one location movies. It's probably the only thing that would have pulled me in to see this movie in the first place, is because I love one location movies. I love whodunits. And like I said, I was so surprised with this movie. And how cinematic is it as well?
Yeah.
It's so cinematic, so well done. I mean, Christopher Landon, he's done some stinkers, but I think he's a pretty capable director. What did he do now? We Have a Ghost with...
oh, God, that was so shit.
What's his name? Hopper.
Oh, I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank now.
Yeah, me too.
He's really famous, and I know his name, and I'm on the spot, and the fuck his name? In chat, what's his name? What's Hopper's name? Throw it up. He'll come to us. But he's done some crackers. Look at these bad boys. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Love that movie. Both love that movie.
Yeah, it's so good. So good.
He's also done Happy Death Day. He's done this one, which we both loved as well, Freaky.
Yeah.
He's got a really good quirky edge with horror.
David Harbour.
Harbour.
Yes.
You looked at the chat. No, you didn't.
Why am I on my hands?
I don't think I can prove anything.
No.
Yeah.
Jenks, this is going to go on to be my biggest surprise of the year. I think me and you made fun of the trailer a little bit.
It was that annoying the noise of the drop message coming through, and the trailer was, and it is overly showing the trailer.
You text me just before you went to see it and said, I can't be asked to watch this.
Do you know?
And then 2 hours later, I get a 4-star rating through the post.
Yeah, for the people at home, we've got a WhatsApp group that's just TV and movie reviews, where we just post a review, and we don't go off in tangents. Well, we try not to anyway, and we just talk about it, and we don't flood our normal WhatsApp with reviews, basically. And we both give it 4 stars. I was chuffed because I was meant to watch it at 9:15, and I was like, oh, it's late as well, I can't be asked. But a client of mine cancelled, so I thought, I can go early, which made me enjoy it a bit more, knowing I'd be done by 8:30. But you're right, there was a surprise, and the reviews have been great. They've been popping up, and most people are pretty much unanimously saying it's 4 stars.
It's not without its flaws. Like I said, it doesn't give you anything new. It just does it fantastically.
Yeah, so I would say...
It's just made so well. The 2 leads in it are fantastic.
Yeah.
The action's great. It's thrilling. And she's fantastic in it. She's so good. She was in that show with Nicole Kidman and Liv Schreiber. Can I ever say his name?
Is it The Perfect Couple or something?
Yeah. She was good in that as well. But that was the first thing I'd seen her in.
No, don't worry. Nobody can say his name. Not even him, apparently.
Liv Schreiber.
Same as Jim Caviezel. It's like for years. Caviezel, Cazzie. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
But the direction. Christopher Landon is pretty good, I gotta say. He really knows his way around a camera. So utilising that big window and the camera spinning round, it does make you feel not claustrophobic, but very sort of like, if you're afraid of heights, you feel like you are trapped in that room.
100%. Yeah. And the spotlight shots where she's got her suspicions and she's like looking around the room, and when she spots someone who looks slightly suspicious, the whole room goes dark and they have a spotlight on them. Yeah. It's kind of like breaking the fourth wall, innit? It's the same with the texts coming up on the screen as she's seeing them. It's all breaking the fourth wall. But I love it when they do that, and it just adds an extra layer of cinematic, Well,
some of the text is coming up, especially the dramatic ones of it says this in the trailer, kill your boyfriend or whatever, kill your date. And it comes, I think that one comes up massively, and it's etched into the wall. Really good sort of graphics. And you're like, I love those little touches. What I like about a good director puts touches in that you don't need. You don't need any of that. They could have just kept on popping up above. That's pretty much something that's been done countless times. but you
They're like
clearly
title
thought,
reels.
yeah, I know, and the film would have been just as good. I would still have given it 4 stars, but I like a director that goes, I think it'd be cool if it was across the wall. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you should be doing. You should be out striving to look better.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to read a few comments here, Jenks.
Yep.
We've got a few new people who've dropped in.
Awesome.
We've got Tyler Adams. Hey, Tyler, how you doing, pal?
Hi, Tyler.
We've got the infamous Eli Cortez.
Hi, Eli.
What's up, Jenks and Curtis, all you Twisted Knights? How you doing, pal? Hope you're good. Ben says, sounds like a great film. Look forward to this. I highly recommend this one, guys. And this is coming from someone who discovered the movie maybe like a month ago when they dropped the trailer and was reluctant to go and watch it, to be fair. Another thing, Jenks.
What?
He's being eyed for DC Studios Batman.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think he'd be all right.
I can see it.
I
Hey,
know.
do you know what, right? I was jealous of her for going on a date with him.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh, he's so good looking.
Yeah. And
Jesus Christ.
do you know, right? Alan Richardson, who plays Jack Reacher in the series, he really wants Batman. And
Yeah.
I think he's got the gravitas and the size and the mouth and the looks and all that to be Batman, like a badass big Batman, like Ben Affleck's Batman, but genuinely massive rather than a rubber fat suit.
Yeah.
But could he pull off Bruce Wayne, Alan Richardson? Have you seen Reacher?
The first season, not all.
Yeah, so he's perfectly good as Reacher, but could he pull off suave Bruce Wayne? I don't think so.
Bruce Wayne.
This
Maybe
guy
not,
could.
no.
This guy could, definitely.
John says, a lot to be said for going in as blind as possible. Well, not literally.
Yeah.
Tyler says, I had low expectations for this one. Yeah, I don't blame you, pal. Have you seen it yet? Did you like it? The Palf says, I really enjoyed Drop.
Yeah.
Eli, I didn't know this even existed. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make bank because then they're not advertising it. I think the first time I seen this advertised was in cinema.
Yeah, I got to say, though, they were advertising a lot in the cinema, but people aren't going to the cinema anymore, so but good.
Yeah. Ben says, yes, I love One Location movies too. I remember at one time of my life I watched The Terminal every night for about a year. It's a good film, to be fair. Eli says, don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this amazing channel and consider becoming a member of the Mighty Twisted Knights for some awesome perks. Eli, you're an absolute legend, pal.
Thank
I
you
couldn't have said that better myself.
Cheers for the endorsement. Appreciate it.
Tyler says, Twisted Locker, the GOAT.
Yes.
Do you know what GOAT means, Jenks?
You told me. Greatest of all time. I asked you a few months ago. Do you remember?
Yeah. That's what I said.
I'm old, man. I don't know these abbreviations.
Ben says, Ben Affleck Batman without the chin. Oh, he's all chin.
Yeah.
Eli says, come on, 14 people watching and only 8 likes. Let's go, Twisted
Yes.
Knights. Yes, Eli. Come on. You absolute legend.
Only 14? That's quite high for us.
I love that. I know, I'm feeling the pressure with 14 people in here, to be honest. Sweating like.
So what I've done, so I thought we could talk about the finale without spoiling it, or a verdict, the finale. So that's when it kind of lost it for me. It went a little bit too actiony for me. I saw tonally it felt a little bit off. That's my only gripe, I'd say. I don't know if you agree.
Would you say it would have been 5 stars?
Probably not. No,
Yeah.
I don't think it had enough to the movie to be a 5. Not quite up there with Presence.
I get what you're saying. Presence, Jesus Christ. I get what you're saying. It kind of drops the thriller act and it becomes a Mission Impossible movie. That's all I'll say about the ending. It does go a bit like grand, whereas it's a very low concept movie that goes a bit big at the end. Now, I wouldn't say it changed my appreciation for the film or it changed my experience with it, but I definitely agree with you that I feel like they should have dialed back the ending a little bit.
Yeah, so when it all kicks off, again, I'm going to be really careful not to spoil anything. They do see some of the action you see at the end in the trailer. So you can see that there is some action-packed moments, probably just to sell the trailer. But like this action was so wild towards the end that I almost thought it was just her imagination. Oh no, this is too much. She imagined something horrible.
Yeah.
But what I will say about it, because it's like most horror films and thrillers, it's female driven. She's like a final girl sort of thing. There's no girl boss in this. Everything they do, any the girls in it, is believable. Like not movie. Well, I mean movie believable. She's not kicking in blokes. She's using her environment. Everything kind of makes sense. Once you got normal women like beating up like blokes twice their size, I kind of check out. I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. Be smarter. Use your environment to beat the guy. Kick him in the balls. Grab a screwdriver. My client was telling me, have you ever seen True Detective?
Never seen it.
So I haven't seen it, right? But he was telling me like how bad it's got. So the first series, you got Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. It's a really gritty detective show, much loved. Season 4, you've got 2 women in it. Jodie Foster, brilliant actress. But the girl with her, she puts a guy in a headlock with her legs, right? And she answers the phone. Yes, I'm just busy. I'm like, oh, God, that is ridiculous. And she's not a superhero.
What if she's just a strong woman, Jenks?
Well, she's not, and she's petite as well. She's not even like a wrestler. So she's not like
strong
Ronda
strong
Rousey or something. Fair enough if it's her. Yeah, nonsense. I just hate things like that. It's like as if you don't need to write women like that. You need to write women smart and use the environment. You don't need them. You got blokes be fed to do that boring stuff. It's much more. That's why final girls are so good in horror films. That's why majority of women,
because they're so vulnerable,
yeah, and you want to root for them and you want to beat these guys. You don't need to see you only have to go to a pub on a Friday night to see a bad, not bad bloke,
Yeah.
So a verdict, I would say, solid 4 stars, highly recommend it. And yeah, I would definitely go to the cinema for this because it's not something you really have to go to the cinema for. It's not massively cinematic, but I think if you're looking for a good time, definitely.
I'll say that this is ideal for cinema because it's so cinematic. You've got those wide angle lens of the window surrounding them and all the buildings around them. And the cinematography in this movie, I don't want to sound like a snob, but the cinematography in this movie is just stunning. Everything looks amazing. Yep. The camera work is fantastic. It's one of those movies that gets you looking around the screen. You're never looking in one place. Fantastic performances all around. And by far the biggest surprise of this year so far. Probably better than 90% of the movies I've seen this year so far. Which is a surprise again because I couldn't be asked for this film, But I would say you don't have to see it in cinema, but you'll get a better appreciation for this movie. I think it's a movie that was made to be seen on the big screen. Yeah, because it's a bit grand.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was easily my biggest surprise this year. It's not my favourite film of the year. I can't think.
No. It's not better than Companion.
No, I wouldn't say, but I would definitely say it's one of the better ones. This year hasn't been great so far. It
hasn't. It hasn't. I thought we were off to a great start.
Yeah.
But you get that drop then, February time. Yeah. Well, that was unintended. I'm just that smart.
And do you know, right, we've been kind of using the excuse, this is a great film, but it's still early in the year. It's coming up to summer now. We're almost at the halfway point, and we've had just a handful of stuff.
But what's crazy, though, is that like how quick that changes, because coming towards the end of the year before, you always get these trailer drops. This is coming in January, that's coming in February, this is coming so-and-so date. And you're like, oh my God, I got all these films to look forward to. And then they start dropping like flies. You watch it, it's crap. You watch it, it's crap. You watch it. And I'm telling you, Jenks, we're going to end up having a similar year to what we did last year. You're going to have our top 5 movies are going to be out towards the end of the year, the last few months of the year.
So what's coming up now? We got 28 years later, and for me, Final Destination. Those are the only 2 that are on my radar. Or am I forgetting some? Oh, Sinners, I'm looking forward to.
Yes, Sinners end of this month. I think that can pull it back in a big way.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, Havoc's my most anticipated movie this year. So if that checks out Wednesday and I love it, I'd be happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yes, there's so many films, they just come and go. Can you believe that I was excited for Taro?
I wasn't. I thought it looked shit. I
like that it looked like 13 Ghosts. I liked that it had loads of different monsters in there, and it looked well made, so I thought it could be good.
I fancy Until Dawn, and that's definitely got a little bit of 13 Ghost vibe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Sinners for me is the next one I'm looking forward to. I think Final Destination is out in June, is it, or May? Or was it May? No, May. It's out in May. So April, sure. April, we got Sinners like we did a few weeks ago, and Until Dark. It's called
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. But yeah, Final Destination for me, I hope it's good. I hope the reviews don't come out in this shit.
My biggest thing is that I need the deaths to look good, because the last Final Destination that came out was plagued with disgusting CGI.
Which one was that?
Disgusting.
Fifth one.
Yeah, the bridge one.
I love that one. That's the strong.
But the CGI's terrible, Jenks.
On the actual bridge bit.
Yeah, awful.
Well,
you've got the guy that flies up to the camera's in the sky, and the guy like flies up towards it. That's all I need. Look, they're going to have to use some sort of CGI, because the deaths are so grand. Almost impossible to pull off, and how many deaths they're going to give us. But it just needs to look a bit better. I can never forgive CGI blood. Not a fan of CGI blood.
Do you know, right? So the scene in Final Destination 5 when the gymnast just explodes basically when she did, right? Although I love that scene, that is very CGI, but the tension is so good building up to that you can forgive any ropey CGI or any stretches in logic the way she just explodes basically. Yeah. You know, I understand she snapped a neck, but she basically snaps in half almost in there, which is a great scene.
I forgive them for that one, because that is horrific, and it doesn't linger too long either. You get that snap and then it's gone. It doesn't stick around too long.
Yeah. I think number 5 is, so for me, I would say 3, 5, 1, 2, fucking 4. 4 shit.
Yeah, 4's awful.
Oh, I just did a whole video we could have done in 2 seconds then of my order of ranking.
Yeah, I know.
Forget I said that.
Nobody will care now. Nobody will care. They went, we've seen it all before.
No point. Don't waste our time.
We've seen it all before.
Right. Do you want me to read a
Dawn
couple?
Says, Smile 2 is on Virgin next week. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, you'll probably love it, Dawn. It's a good film.
Even if you just watch it for Naomi Scott's performance, she is one of the best horror performances I've seen, without a doubt.
Yeah. Ben says, Kurt, Dan turned Taro off. I'm not bloody surprised. What an awful film. I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
Tyler says, Until Dawn looks better in newer teaser. It does. That first trailer was a bit ropey, I gotta say. Are you a fan of the games, Tyler? Have you played the game? Also, Tyler says...
Sorry, can I say one quick thing if we move on? No, Taro's got the ball boy from Spider-Man. What's his name, the actor?
Novocaine.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Anyway, he's obviously got hair in Spider-Man. He's bald in real life, alopecia. And he... so you can hear his voice on Novocaine, and there's somehow like a twist when he turns up, like, you got the most recognizable voice.
I know.
He's up there with like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, because he says he looks like Jason Momoa. He's really tall and handsome, and he rides a motorbike. Yeah. But yeah, because I actually turned to my girlfriend when we were watching Novocaine, and I went, do you know who that is, the voice? And she went, Spider-Man's bald friend. Yeah. Tyler says, also noticed they replaced the practical gag on the girl's face with VFX, even though they did a featurette of that specific practical effects for the promotion. Yeah, strange, innit?
What are you talking about?
Until Dawn.
Oh, sorry. I thought.
Yeah. Talking about replacing an image with VFX. I think CGI is a great place in cinema, and I just don't like it when it's done wrong. I feel like if you're going to commit to using CGI, you need to have some sort of realism, you know. The best example I've got is Midnight Meat Train, and you're going back a fair while now, early 2000s, so it's a little bit forgivable, but there's a scene where Ted Raimi gets killed and he gets smashed across the face, and his face explodes, his eye comes out, and it was like really early 2000 CGI, and you've got all the blood coming out and all that, and I can remember even back then I was like, oh, what happened to those class practical effects from the 80s and early 90s, you know?
Yeah, there's always a place for it, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of films we get these days can't be made without it, but I just feel like we need to be using practical blood.
Things have got worse and worse. I was showing someone today, right? No, the other day, I showed them a picture of Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean 2 with Bill Nighy's sort of tentacle beard. And I showed them Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the new nightmare fuel dwarfs, and they were like, "How is that 20 years difference? Like that is mental. Yeah. We are going the wrong direction, and that's so bad."
100%.
Shall we ask for some questions? Because we've only got one film to review, and if you guys have got any questions horror related, pop them up in the comments, and we'll
surprise us. Just give us something to talk about, because we haven't got much content this week, guys. Give us something like We're basically asking you to do our jobs for us. We were a bit lazy this week, so just give us a topic and we'll talk about it.
But you know, for me, so I can't wait to watch the rest of the Black Mirrors. USS Callister episode, I haven't seen the one yet, but it's my favourite Black Mirror episode by a country mile. My second favourite is probably, I really like the pedo one with the boy. Spoiler alert.
Is it called Hang the DJ?
Yeah, either Hang the DJ or is that the dating one? I always forget.
That's the dating one with
Just Dance something.
Just Dance, or Dance Monkey.
No, it's not Dance.
It's fine. Shut up, people know.
Shut up and dance. Shut
up and dance.
He's always got quirky titles. Same as like Nosedive. Obviously, that does explain the story of Nosedive, but they're never that straightforward, are they? The titles?
No. There's too many great ones. I think. Loch Henry, even though it doesn't feel like a Black Mirror, that's probably my second favourite episode. I thought that one was phenomenal. I loved it. I've watched it about 6 times.
Why doesn't Charlie Brooker just do like a side series where he just wants to use different stories? Because he clearly toyed with it last season with 3 episodes that weren't Black Mirror at all, especially the last one, Demon 77 or whatever it's called.
Look, the guy's clearly insanely talented. He's got an endless pit of ideas. He's still knocking out top class.
Yeah.
A lot of it lends itself to current technology. I'm sure he sees a lot in society and goes, do you know what? I can take this a step further. Watch the story here and then goes from there. But he toys with some insane ideas in the new season. Some really out there ideas and stuff that's not that far away from home. And a lot of it, like the first episode, it's about, actually, you need to upgrade to a premium package to remove this, and you need to upgrade. Actually, your premium package has been demoted now to the standard package. The new premium package is horrible. And I'm like that. Oh my God, this is like the worst episode ever.
It's like a stress stream, innit? Everything for that couple, like, oh my God, it's so horrible. It's it's a horrible episode. It's a brilliant episode. And I think it's a masterpiece. I think Charlie Brooker is amazing. He did Dead Set, which is the first thing I ever saw him do.
So good.
And like I said, I did like the third episode with the black and white film and stuff with Emma Corrin, the girl from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, it's really good.
She's really good. She's a really good actress and stuff. I don't know whether I felt like it was, like they race swapped and gender swapped the lead role because that woman wanted to be in the film.
Yeah, she just wanted to play the man,
Yeah, and I was like, It would have made more sense if they just had a man, because she was still acting like there was a man. Didn't make any sense when the film came out.
Yeah, of course. I get what you mean, yeah. It
And
didn't make sense in that sense.
And when I was watching, I thought, what do they mean? Do they just redo in the film with just the actor? They could have just done that with a deep fake face. What's the point of all the tech to do that, isn't it? Didn't make any sense, but it was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, what's he saying now? Hang on. So Dawn says, what's your favourite Dracula film, old or new? What about the new Nosferatu film? Can't spell it, lol.
It's a tough word to spell.
Yeah. I've only learned to spell it because I've written it so many times because of this channel. But yeah, it's that's definitely a Googler. My favourite Dracula film, it's not a film. It's the BBC one. It came out about 5 years ago with Bang, someone his name is.
I agree with you, Jenks. I was just about to say that one.
Apart from the last episode, didn't like it, but the overall, he was one of the best Draculas. I thought if he was a bit younger, he could have played a really good James Bond. He's probably a bit too old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that one.
Do you know who created that?
Mark Gatiss, isn't it?
Gatiss. It's just Gatiss, just Mark Gatiss.
Yeah, I know. He's very much in that kind of world now, because of Doctor Who and stuff and Sherlock Holmes. But he, was it Stephen Moffat? No, I'm sure he's in Sherlock Holmes. Stephen Moffat did Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like, we can go back to the classic Christopher Lee Draculas. They're all amazing.
Yeah.
You've got Dario Argento's Dracula 3D with Rutger Hauer. I've never seen it. I've never seen that one. I remember really liking Dracula 2000. I think that one had Gerard Butler in there.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one since I was a kid, but I had that on VHS. I loved that film.
I
think it was produced by Wes Craven.
So I thought it was much better than I thought it was. It was Luke Evans did one, Dracula something.
Dracula Untold.
Sorry, someone said in the chat that it says the spelling, but
Nosferatu.
I thought it's behind Jenks' head. The fuck's there? Is that a spider?
Yeah.
Where?
Look behind you, like.
I think that was quite underrated. I think they would go. So the Dracula Untold, I think he was going for the 300 vibe, where he was like some kind of hero almost, isn't it?
Yeah. But they've just gone back to that time period in the Dracula story where he's a warrior and then he's got the armor and he goes to war, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. I absolutely loved it. Do you know, right, there's a lovely story that Luke Evans said. When Dracula Untold came out, Luke Evans, his father, went to see it multiple times in packed theatres.
Yeah.
And he'd after the film, he'd approach people and be like, "Oh, did you enjoy the film?" Be like, "Yeah, it was great. That's my son." And he went multiple times to different screeners and just told everybody, "Yeah, that's my son." I love that. It's great, like.
I remember hearing Jonah Hill. He was in a cinema, and his trailer came on of a film he was in when he was younger, when he first started, and he went and got, "Hey, that looks like a good film. Wouldn't mind watching that." And then someone in front went and got, "Yeah, maybe on a fucking plane." And he didn't know it was really Jonah Hill behind him.
Maybe if you're on a plane. That's great.
I still walk out.
What else have we got?
Ben's got one. If you had to watch one horror film every single day to stay alive, what would it be? Look, this is an easy one. There's only one horror film, and it's Return of the Living Dead. I could watch that over and over again. I kind of wish I had a film that was longer, because if I had to watch it every day, I'd rather have something that was longer than 80 minutes.
What about the Return of the Living Dead unrated, uncut, extended edition?
Yes.
It's got an additional 5 minutes of content, Jenks.
And a documentary's attached. Could you have that as well?
Yeah.
Could you just have the DVD with all the extra bits?
Yeah. Can I watch the 3-hour documentary in the making of how Dan O'Bannon pulled this movie off? Also,
could I trade it for a normal film and have Kill Bill? But could you have Volume 1 and 2? Is it one?
The
film?
whole bloody affair.
Yeah,
you could do that.
I'd love to have that.
For me, right, I'd have to say From Dusk Till Dawn, because there's movies that I love that are above From Dusk Till Dawn for my appreciation of it. Like The Thing is my favourite movie of all time, and then I'd say Evil Dead 2, and then From Dusk Till Dawn. But From Dusk Till Dawn has got more rewatch value for me than both of those movies. It's a movie... Evil Dead 2 is almost there, right?
Yeah.
I can chuck it on week after week and still enjoy it, right? But there's something about From Dusk Till Dawn that I've never once watched it and been like, oh, do you know what? I've seen this too often or too soon before I seen it the last time. It's just the most easy watch in the world. I love it.
I think it's because it's 2 films in one and you feel like you're getting like double value, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. And you've got that mesh of 2 worlds between Tarantino and Rodriguez. It's just, it's the easiest film to follow, the easiest film to watch. It's got the best dialogue.
Best characters.
Best characters. Yeah. It's one of the most fun horror movies you can possibly watch.
And do you know, you and I went to Lanzarote for a stag last year. And the first night, I think it was the first night, we both snuck off early. We were like, I can't be bothered with this. We are lightweights, but we're not really. We start drinking quite early, like first thing in the morning. So it's not like lightweights in the sense we can't handle. We just can't be bothered to be out after like...
No, do you know what? Not once on that holiday did I go, bloody hell, I'm too drunk, I gotta go home.
Just can't be asked.
Just got to a point where I was like, I can't be asked. I just want to go to bed, you know? We
snuck home. You crashed out and you were sleeping and you were snoring. And I went into the living room and I put TV on and Dusk Till Dawn just started. And because you're in Lanzarote, there's a good chance it's going to be foreign, Spanish films.
Yeah.
And it was in English. And I was like, oh my God, it just started as well. I was like, oh my God, this couldn't
Should have woke me up, boy. Should have woke me up.
Pity for you. Right.
That answers that for you. We've got Tyler, question. We're in Q2 of 2025. What have you got cooking for a short film this year? So we've got the script, we've got the idea, we've basically cast the girl in it, Jenks. We're going to use my daughter, so she's going to be in the movie. Not anymore, I don't think. Not anymore.
Yeah, so
big time now, working with Rafe Spall.
Right, so our plan was, I wrote like a 30-minute script, and I was based on one of my short stories. And then I was watching, I think it was on The Critical Drinker, where he'd made a short film, and it wasn't well received at all. And I've watched him talk about it. He's actually released a video, saying what went wrong and stuff, and he's quite honest and interesting, actually. He said it's really it's much harder than people realise to make something, even if you got 200 grand. And I thought, you know what, maybe our first film shouldn't be 30 minutes like a proper. I think we should start small. So we're just going to play with some short, very, very short ideas and maybe do a lot of them and learn the craft and get better. And rather than just make something and be hit and then go, all right, let's do the next one. I'd rather make small, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, let's start small. Let's hone our skills. Let's just get better with every video. But you're talking 5-10 minute shorts here. Yeah. But we are saving up. We want to put some money into it, so we want to get a good camera. We want to at least hire a decent actor. So yeah, I mean, we could just do it between us and just act in them, or get people we know. But we want them to be good. We're not gonna half-ass it. Yeah. Like my uni days, getting my uni mates to be in my films. But I
think if they're short, we can make them perfect because we can put everything in.
Yeah. We're not trying to spread our time over a 30-minute film,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And it's got to be better than VHS because I've slagged it off so much that I cannot make a small segment and it's shit. It's even worse.
Eli says, Argento's Dracula's wild. He turns into a giant praying mantis and stabs a dude. For fuck's sake.
Is that in it?
What happened to Argento? Jesus.
Is this a later one, is it?
2000s, I think this came out. Eli says, do you think they can remake Just Before Dawn? Absolutely. I do like Just Before Dawn, but it's a little bit outdated now, I think. Yeah. It's definitely a concept they could remake, but I don't think it's a film people would realise is a remake. I don't think many people have heard of Just Before Dawn.
I never heard of it.
It's just a wood slasher movie from the 80s. Very underground shit,
Yeah. Shit.
Yes, yeah, it's what it is it's what it says on the tin, you know.
Yeah, shit.
Eli says, I love rewatching Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, or Demons 1 and 2. Yes, I've watched Demons 1 and 2 too many times over the last 2 years. I've craved them extra
We
lately.
watched it together last week. It was a treat.
Yeah.
Right, just talking about shit films, right? I haven't seen this. My friend told me about it years ago. There's a film called Mon's Turd. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
No.
So, Eli, Mon's Turd, and it's about basically a guy, toxic waste, is in the sewer, and shit gets on him, and toxic waste, he becomes a shit monster.
Yeah.
And the tagline is, can anyone stop this big pile of shit? How good is that? That's the best tagline ever.
I didn't recognise the name, but I know that film.
Yeah,
I know
Mon's
that
Turd.
film. Jordan says, what's the best trailer from Planet Terror, Death Proof? So I love the Thanksgiving trailer, right? But I can't remember the title of it, but it was directed by Edgar Wright, and it's one word, and they keep repeating it. It's like, they. Oh God, John, what's the name of Edgar Wright's trailer from Planet Terror? I've gone completely blank.
It's Machete.
Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. What else?
Edgar Wright's one. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I can't remember now what other ones there were.
How chuffed you be if you're Edgar Wright that you're in Tarantino's club? You're on his radar. How good is that, isn't it?
Well, Tarantino gave him the title last night in Soho.
It's crazy.
Yeah, amazing. And well deserved,
he's an awesome. I think he's probably one of him and Simon Pegg together are probably two of the greatest script writers. The punchiest dialogue.
Oh my God.
Honestly,
I watched
especially Hot Fuzz.
I watched Hot Fuzz last night. Me and my girlfriend had a couple of drinks, and we like to watch a comedy on a Saturday night. I'll never put something heavy on.
Yeah.
So we thought, because Simon Pegg had just been announced for The Love of Horror, I was like, let's watch Hot Fuzz. And oh my God, it hits every single time.
Yeah, I would say, and I don't mean best script as in best plot, right? There's other films I prefer, but I would say best script for punchiness, I would probably say, gun to my head, Hot Fuzz, ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Let me look up Edgar Wright's short film.
All right, I'll read some of these comments. Where are we? Hobo with a Shotgun. That was another one, wasn't it?
Yes.
You got Bram Stoker's Dracula. I thought, right, love it. I thought he was going to say, Jill was going to say, Dead and Loving It, with the one with Leslie Nielsen, because it's called Dead and Loving It.
Yeah.
You see this? It says, she's written Bram Stoker's Dracula, love it. I thought she's on that.
Dead and Loving It.
Yeah.
It's Don't. That's my favourite trailer from it. Don't.
Yes. We had this conversation before in a video, and I'm sure you had to Google it. Don't. It's a great title.
Yeah.
You should
fantastic. Make that. Don't. And it's the one I always forget the name of, and it's the easiest one.
Tyler Adams says, let me do some CG. I'm guessing he's talking about our short films.
100%, pal.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one of them, we need a face to change. So you look at the face and it's normal, and then when you look back, it's different, right? So, I remember you messaging me, pal, and when we done it, we'll definitely take you up on that offer, pal. We appreciate that. Hang
on. So Eli Cotter said, the only shit monster I know is from Dogma. I haven't seen Dogma for years.
I haven't seen that in a while. Hard to get hold of.
And it's a massive cast. I'm not a big fan of Kevin Smith. I think he's very overrated.
Yeah. I love him, I do. You're an idiot. He's done some turds, man, but at the start of his career, Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Jane Silent Bob, all those movies are top tier, but I get it's not your demographic.
I did, do you know as well?
You were 40 when those movies came out, so you were a bit too old to enjoy them.
I saw Chasing Amy and I saw Mallrats. I liked it because Stanley was in it. But do you know what he did to He-Man? It's unforgivable. He did He did the He-Man cartoon, and I absolutely adore He-Man, right? Masters of the Universe, and he fucked it, and he promised he wouldn't girl boss it, and what did he do? Girl boss it completely. Teela was the hero and Evelyn, and He-Man was not even in it. Oh, what the fuck, absolute disgusting.
Hag! 12 down. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Great line that, isn't it? Hag.
Oh, so good.
Excuse me? 12 down.
Do you know as well, I think that's part of the problem with World's End. Like, there are elements of it that I love and don't love. I don't think the script was as punchy. I wonder if they slightly rushed it compared to Hot Fuzz, because it's not as slick, I don't think.
Look, this is my thing, right? Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are 5 stars. World's End 4 stars. And that's not a bad thing.
No,
I
no,
think
it's not.
World's End is a great movie, but unfortunately it had to follow up Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, because the problem is they had to follow up Shaun of the Dead. And how the hell are you going to do that? They somehow pulled it off. A lot of people will argue that it's the better movie. Now, I kind of agree. I just prefer Shaun because I'm more into horror and I love my zombie movies. But it all comes down to your preference in genre. But I do think Hot Fuzz is the better movie.
100%. I always say that to people. I say, look, I always pick Shaun of the Dead because I love zombies, but Hot Fuzz is a masterclass. Do you know, when I heard the pitch of World's End, I was like, oh my God, they've done it again. A pub, because I love pub crawls and I've both been like on stags and stuff and we know that culture. I thought, a pub crawl and while the world's ending and they got to finish the pub crawl. That is absolutely genius. But it's something lacking. Now, I think it's to do with Gary, what's his name? Gary King. His motivation to finish the pub crawl makes perfect sense. But the others, when they're tagging along, does not make sense. They're going, let's just go. It just didn't make sense. And that was the problem. They should have spent a bit more time to figure out a way to make it believable that all of them have to finish the pub crawl.
Oh, I agree with you. I just tend to look past those things.
Yeah, I've seen it. Look, I love it as well. I've seen.
I know.
I've seen it countless times. I always fancy every time it pops up on like Netflix and it shows like a couple of seconds. I'm like, oh, I fancy watching that again. Once you see him putting down the pints, and they get, oh,
yeah.
So
what?
good.
You never taken a shortcut before?
Yeah. I just love when they go into the pub and the next one looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Identical, like it's the same pub.
It's still a great movie. It's just not as good as the first two.
Yeah.
But I love them all.
So Tyler says, it's about this. Do you know what I think it must be? I have a tool for DIY filmmaking, a 3D printer, get a bamboo lab A1. Do these things make sense to you, Curtis?
Yeah.
Make props, custom fixtures. The A1 is the best printer for the money. Yeah, that was all gibberish to me.
I've always wanted to get a 3D printer. They're becoming a lot more accessible now. I think a lot more people can get their hands on them, but I know they cost a bomb to run.
Yeah.
And I'm not very capable with my hands. So once you've printed these things, you still have to kind of sculpt it and take things away because the 3D printer won't put it out perfectly. So yeah, I don't think I'd be any good with a 3D printer, but I do agree with you. Yeah, I do agree with you.
Eli Cortez says, what do you think of Werewolf by Night, the best Marvel show they've ever made? I haven't seen it. I heard good things about it. I really enjoyed
it. It's so good.
But by the time it came out, I was done with Marvel.
So was I, but this isn't part of Marvel. This was like their foray into horror, and I knew we was going to have like that classic Universal Monsters look. Yeah. And Man-Thing's in it. And
the fuck is Man-Thing?
It's their equivalent of Swamp Thing, basically. He looks like Swamp Thing, a little bit different, but it's their equivalent of... I'm sure it's Man-Thing. I'm sure that's his name. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, I will watch it. A few people have said it. The only thing I've liked on these Marvel TV shows is Daredevil, and it's not even close to the Netflix. You want to read a few comments?
Yeah, Tyler says, I just made a Lord of the Rings Uruk-hai warrior costume for my son with my printer, painted it up, looks amazing. That's awesome, pal. That's amazing. A full body suit.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, the stuff you can do with that now, and I assume you had to print out loads of singular parts to connect it all together. That takes some craft, pal, fair play. Yeah. Ben says, Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are films I watch over and over, but World's End is something I don't watch too much. Come on, Ben. If you love the first two, you've got to love World's End. No ifs or buts about it. Sam says Edgar Rice Running Man is one I'm looking forward to. They've wrapped it up as well. I
Yes.
can't wait for that film.
It's going to be awesome. They show
yeah,
clips.
it
They
is.
showed a bit of it in CinemaCon, and everyone was raving about it.
Yeah. I've heard great things. And obviously it's going to be closer to the book. It's going to be on the streets. It's not going to be like a game show. It's funny because I read online that Arnold Schwarzenegger give Glenn Powell his bless, and I thought, he doesn't need your blessing, mate. Your Running Man is nothing like the book.
Yeah, I love Running Man, the Schwarzenegger one.
No, of course.
Brilliant,
It's a fantastic film, right?
Yeah.
But they deviated from the book so much.
Oh, massively.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, he doesn't need your blessing.
Do you know what I will say?
You made your own movie and called it The Running Man.
What I will say about, because it shouldn't be called a remake. It's just another adaptation. What I love about The Running Man is that it's like 80 minutes long, and it basically did the whole 4 Hunger Games movies in 80 minutes. And it had a memorable villain. It had all the characters. It had sort of...
It's so good.
Yeah, the only thing, I think we've discussed this before, when they're all betting on the stage, $10 on thing, and they're just giving away slips. Thinking, who's keeping track of these movie bets? Bullshit. Movie bullshit.
Hey, they wouldn't have that in the betting office in Cabin in the Woods. No, they had their shit locked down.
Yes, yeah.
Ben says, I know a guy with a 3D printer. Hit me up, Ben. Sort me out. Eli says, Jenks laugh my ass off. What the fuck is man thing? He's an uneducated swine. That's what, Eli.
The funny thing is, I'm really, really clued up on Marvel, but I've never heard a man thing. That's so crap he is. Man thing, that's lazy.
Do you know, this is what does my head in about you, right? If you haven't heard of something, right?
It must be shit.
Or if you don't like something, it's shit, and that's final.
Yeah.
No one has any other say in it, right? If you don't like it, if you haven't heard of it, it must be shit.
Well, I'm not saying it has to be brilliant, but if I haven't heard of it, it's probably shit.
Well, you're in your own bubble, in you. You're in your own little Jenks bubble.
Fuck off.
He only reads what Empire and Total Film. He only watches what Total Film tend to watch.
Total Films stopped making printed magazines now.
Shut up.
Yeah, they stopped.
Jesus.
I don't blame them. Nobody fucking reads magazines, but they still do online. That's what someone told me. I don't know for sure, but I did have a look in Tesco the other day, and I only saw Empire. But I bought the first ever one, and it was Godzilla was on the front, I think.
See? Total Film boy. I would bet my money on, right, you became a better film fan when I came into your life, right? When we started talking about films, because I opened your eyes to the real world of horror. Where James like, my favourite horror movie of all time is The Ring. And once introduced you to all these great cult classic movies from the 80s, opened your eyes.
Well, the irony
that's what I used to call him, Empire Boy.
The irony is, your father was the one who got me into most of my horror films in the 80s.
Yeah,
before you were conceived. He had, honestly, Return of the Living Dead was your father. He had it on big box, and our uncle, his brother, was the one that gave me Evil Dead 2 to watch. And those films blew my mind. Absolutely. Gateway to like loving horror.
100%. I'm hoping that my daughter's cogs are turning out. She's like, do you know what? Horror's the way. Yeah. But she's seen a fair amount of horror movies now. I've just kind of... Evil Dead 2's the biggest step I've taken when I've shown her films. And I'm hoping now, she's like, do you know what? I don't like Wicked anymore. I don't like The Greatest Showman anymore. Those films can stuff it. I'm all for Evil Dead. Yeah. She said to me, right, we finished it, and she went, can I watch Evil Dead Rise now? I was like, no.
No. There's no way. R2013. No fucking way.
Or Evil Dead 1. No way in hell.
You could probably get to watch the series. I think there's some scenes that are dodgy, though. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Because when we did a team up a few months ago with Splattercast, and we went through all the films, and I hadn't seen season 3 of Evil Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead. Yeah. Oddly enough, we never end up talking about it. But there was a bit in it, I don't know if you remember the series, towards the end where details. Well, how long ago have you seen season 3?
2 months ago.
For fuck's sake. Anyway, get a fucking life.
Jenks, I am a fan of
Get a
horror
life.
movies, right?
You're a loser.
I'm a big fan of Evil Dead. I watch all movies and the series every time I watch Evil Dead, right? So I'm not just going to jump in and watch Evil Dead 2. No, I'll watch them all, including the series.
Well, anyway, the scene where they cut a page of skin off her back to make a page, I think it
Can't
might be
remember it.
Fuck. It is one of the most horrendous things. It's up there with like Hellraiser because it's so horrible. It's so graphic. It's something like from Hostel. It's horrible. And I was like,
100%.
oh, this is the same show because this is meant to be like silly. 2 episodes before, Ash was slipping on spunk in a, and then and then he's got fucking keep peeling skin off backs. It's horrible. The tone is all well off. And then he's in a fucking future car.
Tyler says, since he's 8 years old, all the parts fit without cutting them up, except for the helmet. A1 is $250 and is so easy to use. The team used to work for DJI. They designed the printer to be super user-friendly. $250 is not bad. That's not bad at all. Almost affordable, I'd say.
Yeah.
Tyler says, I swear I'm not paid to say this. I can just see the checks lighting up in your eyes, pal.
Yeah.
John says, great movies like Street Trash. Thank you. Jenks, thank me later, boy. Don't get all sloppy on the live now and start thanking me. You can thank me in the back room afterwards, right? People, don't show people your soft side, Jenks, because he has got a soft side.
I have.
He did thank me. He slags off Street Trash, but he did thank me.
I did, I was chuffed.
For showing him the shittest movie he's ever seen.
I think it is the shittest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, probably. Ben says she's got a few years before you start showing her the greatest. What's the greatest, Ben? Evil Dead 2 is the greatest.
Well, if you're still talking about The Greatest Showman, I love that film.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's the only musical I get enjoyment out
because
of,
it's got great songs. That's it.
Eli Cortez says, Jenks, what was your favourite show growing up? Kolchak, The Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, Tales from the Dark Side. Didn't they all come out in the 60s?
Okay. Kolchak, I don't know what that is. Do you know?
It rings a bell, but no.
So I really enjoyed The Twilight Zone. With Tales from the Dark Side, I always mix them up with Tales from the Crypt. And what's the other one?
Did you know? Tales of the Unexpected.
So that was really good. My favourite sort of short.
That show ran for so long it became the Tales of the Expected.
Yeah. So I'm all fairness. I love short sort of stories. I particularly preferred like the ones like the old ones, like the three stories in one, like the Hammer horrors and stuff. The Twilight Zone is probably my favourite. I haven't seen all the episodes. Obviously, there's about in 2000 and a lot of them are black and white. But I remember, oddly enough, your father used to have videos of Twilight Zone and I watched a lot of them. And there was one
I watched them.
Yeah, so you had the girl
the cafe one.
You had the girl from Escape from LA and you've had a photo with her maybe last year. What's her name?
Oh, Adrian Babo.
And she was in it and it was about...
It's the one in the cafe.
It's a cafe and she becomes a monster in it at the end.
Yeah. Because I used to watch the same ones my father had.
Yeah, I think what it was with Twilight Zone, because there was some of them were horror and some of them weren't, I was get bored. I was like, oh, it's got to be horror. Not interested.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. I love anything sort of that kind of style.
Right, where are we?
I love Tales of the Unexpected.
I'm not gonna read this out loud, but
I've already said it once.
We don't want to say it twice. We'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
Eli says, I have that big Evil Dead 4K Groovy edition with the complete series. Fucking love the franchise.
Yeah.
I skipped that one, pal, because it didn't have Army of Darkness. They got that big, it's a stunning box set, but they didn't have Army of Darkness. It belongs to Universal, I believe. And do you know what as well, right? I watched, I got Evil Dead 2 on 4K, and do you know what? The picture is so good. I don't think I like it. It's too clean. And I mean, a lot of the 4Ks I bought, it's still got that 80s glare.
Yeah.
But, they did a great job on this one. They proper scrubbed up every single shot. And do you know what? A part of me was like, I think it's one of the main reasons my daughter didn't find it that scary, because it was so clean.
Yeah.
It didn't have that horrible, gritty 80s feel where all the shots are really dark and creepy. You haven't got that screen burn.
What?
So a part of me was like, huh?
The screen burn, what you mean?
Screen burn. It's like a VHS thing, innit?
Oh, right, yeah.
It always added to that like gritty
Yeah.
effect, you know. You got that screen burn.
Yeah,
like.
I felt the same when HD first came out. When you go into like Curry's, these shops, and they were showing this so crisp and clean, you think, oh, it looks awful.
Yeah. John says, Jenks, you've not seen the remake then. I think he turned it off when the guy got his willy chopped off.
He didn't get chopped off. He had a bone now while he was running. I thought, oh, what the fuck is this crap?
It does get cut off though.
Oh, okay, well, the opening scene was all right when the tramp actually did get melt. Did he melt? I can't remember.
Yeah, proper melted.
Yeah,
man.
I thought, okay,
gone.
this looks already better than the original. But then once he had a bone,
Yeah.
now he's running. I thought, this is crap. Not quite up there, slipping on spunk, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. We've deviated so far, Jenks.
I know.
We've deviated so far. Right, let's have a look at more comments because...
Can you wrap it up soon? I get a bit tired, and I got a early start tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. We can wrap it up now if you want.
Yeah, we'll finish the comments.
Eli says, I don't think Jenks has seen things from Canada. He's a very narrow-minded guy, Eli. He won't step out of his comfort zone, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm just too
Very
busy
narrow-minded.
creating my own horror, when I write all these books.
But you still decided to start a fucking horror podcast to talk about horror films.
Well, it was going to be pitching my horror books, but I haven't pitched any of them.
Yeah. Tyler says, I can't believe I still haven't finished the series. Oh, I need to do it, man. I enjoyed season 3. I love them all. Season 2 is the best. I feel like that had the proper Evil Dead 2 feel.
Yeah, you went back in time, innit?
Yeah. It was awesome. Jill says, Tales from the Unexpected, flipping brilliant
Yes.
series. Yeah, I remember seeing a fair few episodes of that
My
one.
mother got me into that. She's cutting edge, my mother. She goes, oh, you got to watch it. You love it.
My Chunky Geordie says, my favourite series as a kid was V. I know about V. It's got that lizard people in it. But
It's got Robert
I never
Englund as
watched
well.
it. Yeah, I never watched it.
Used to eat mice.
Tyler says, guys, write a short film with a full CG monster. I want to have some fun. I'll do it, pal. Let's do it.
Okay.
If you can deliver us a good monster, I'd happily create a monster short film without the stress of thinking about how we're going to create a monster. I'll leave that all to you, pal. John says, I really liked Outer Limits in the 90s. There was one where a guy had a girl android who fell in love with him and tried to kill his girlfriend, ripped off recently a few times. Yeah, of course. Companion.
Yeah, I watched a few Outer Limits. It was Spielberg produced it, didn't he?
Well, it was before Spielberg's time.
No, the 90s when it came back in the 90s. I think, I could be wrong. I might be mixing up.
Yes, of course, Tyler Pal, yeah. You need to finish that third season. The only gutting thing about the third season is they really set up a fourth season.
Oh,
which is the worst.
He's basically doing what one of the alternative endings of Army of Darkness might have been.
Yeah. Gina says, if I met Robert Englund, I'd talk his head off all day.
Yeah.
But V. Willy rules.
Yeah.
Willy rules.
I know, he'd be like, oh, I bet he'd be chuffed. You're thinking, oh, fine.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have to talk about
definitely.
fucking Freddy.
Yeah, because when I meet Bruce Campbell, I'm going to talk about Bubba Hotep. I want to talk about Evil Dead. Let's talk about Bubba Hotep. Jill says, definitely with the woman dancing. In them days, it was quite horror-like. Yeah, definitely. Dawn says, have a lovely week all. Thank you for a great episode tonight, guys. Thank you so much for jumping on, Dawn. I hope you have enjoyed the rest of your Sunday.
Yes.
I'm sure you're in the UK, so it's a bit late for us. Eli says, great stream, guys. Hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. Thank you so much, Eli, pal. We appreciate you. Jordan says that might be amazing stories that Spielberg produced.
It was.
Yeah, and they've just brought that back out again, haven't they?
I remember
Apple.
Now it's full on cypher, that was.
Ben says, amazing podcast as usual, guys. Hope you've had a good week and everyone reading.
Awesome.
Right, that's it from us, guys. Thank you all for jumping on. Probably spent a good hour there talking absolute nonsense.
Yes.
I expected you to have more shit set up, Jenks. Come on. What are you doing?
Look, I've done this. Look at this little thing I've got, yeah.
Everyone give Jenks a good round of applause, guys.
And I've just clicked it and it's on loop. So, people will always know. I mean, he's quite lazy. I just got off Canva. He's not like horrified with like zombies or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, guys, if you love the channel, please subscribe. If you know anybody, tell them about our channel. And yeah, keep coming every Sunday. We are not going to be here next week because of Curtis is a dick. He's going to see He's going to see Havoc. I don't blame him. I don't think you want to see me for an hour and a half on my own. Although I'd probably kill it, obviously. I'd probably have more than 15 watching.
Jenks, I don't fancy dropping sub count, pal.
But yeah, and we won't be here on Easter break as well because we got stuff on. But we will be dropping a pre-recorded this week anyway, and we'll be catching you
So
the following Wednesday.
Pre-recorded video this week, probably dropping on Wednesday. But we won't be going live next week, as I am seeing Havoc on Wednesday, and then busy weekend then. But thank you all, guys, each and every week for coming on and keeping us entertained. I tried to entertain you, but I usually end up getting entertained by you guys. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you. I don't know, whenever I feel like coming back.
Yes, right. Have a good Sunday. Take it easy, guys.
Cheers, guys.